Hello, hello, everybody. This is the 69th episode of Sportstake. Uh, we a little late behind. I had a few different things going on, but we want to make sure we come to you as soon as we can and talk about the heart of sports and what is happening. Before I go any further, I'd like to touch base with our sponsor, uh, Brother Phil. Take us away and tell us about A Rocket.
Well, everybody knows moving is personal, stressful, often overwhelming. But if you got a familiar foe you can deal with, A Rocket Moving and Storage is the company you want to call. We are a full service moving and storage company. We can come to your residence, move you, as well as everybody on here knows. Those who are not familiar, we are corporate. We do offices, and we've been in business since 1959. A moving and storage business that was started by Herbert and Arlene Sam, that's inherited now by their son DeAndre Sam, and we're located at 3401 Quarter. A Rocket Moving and Storage. Give us a call, 713-748-6024. We do interstate, and we're all over the city. So you'll see our trucks rolling, and we are available most days of the week, rarely on Sunday, but we will even move you on Sunday if necessary. So as witnessed by everybody on this panel, on this show today, who knows what we stand for, what we are about, and our motto is making the customer number one. A Rocket Moving and Storage.
And I attest, they helped me move me and my daughter, and she's happy. So I'm happy, and I'm looking forward to utilizing you all again as soon as we move into our house, which will hopefully be soon. So
And I'll third that motion because
thank you, A Rocket.
I'll third that motion because we've used them in a corporate setting and they have been nothing but professional and done everything that we need to do. And like you said, even on the occasional Sunday when we've had to use them. So again, yes, A Rocket.
I can third that. They used to come to our office and move us as well. Back when I was doing in the midst of my career, and we worked with them a lot. So they always did an outstanding job. So we have a long history with A Rocket, folks. Go all the way back to 59, is it?
When it was established. A Rocket was established.
Exactly. A1 service, folks.
All right, well, let's get into our sports. First thing is the NBA playoffs. Daryl General, are you surprised that, first of all, that both of these teams got here? And what is your prognosis about what's about to happen?
Well, if I remember correctly, I picked OKC and Boston. So I'm not surprised that San Antonio and the Knicks have been playing the best ball for the last few months. San Antonio, we always knew that they were a contender, but I didn't think they were quite ready. And honestly, I think if OKC had Jay Will and Mitchell, then San Antonio still may not be here. You can't say for sure. You can't go back. But I'm happy that both of them are there. I'm glad the way the games are going. Even when it was 2-0 Knicks, it could have easily been 2-0 Spurs. So these have been very good games, very close games. I'm not worried about the officiating. It is what it is. There's going to be some calls made. As long as I've been living, I've never went to a basketball game where it wasn't a bad call. So, so they need to just go ahead and play. I'm enjoying it. I'm still gonna ride with the Knicks only because, like I said, of the two, I think San Antonio took the more fortuitous change, a path of getting there, catching Oklahoma City a little weakened.
Let me ask you this. Of course, everybody on the panel is aware of Wembanyama pushing or hitting Jalen Brunson. What do you think the ramifications? Will they put a hit out on Wembanyama?
They should. They should. They should. I mean, that's basketball. If you hit my man, I'm going to hit you, and that's what's missing from some of these teams. They don't have the Charles Oakley. They don't have the Dennis Rodman. They don't have the Anthony Masons that would go after. You don't do. They don't even have a Vernon Maxwell. Somebody that says you don't mess with my teammates. You mess with my teammates, I mess with you. So I'm not mad at Wimbyana for what he did. That's basketball on that level. That's what they do. They play, they push. They foul hard. If you saw the whole play, Brunson had his jersey, and he just like, man, get off of me, stop holding me like that. Same thing we do, used to do at the park. So it's just basketball. Let them play, let them go. The NBA has already looked at it. They said it's a foul, but it's not a flagrant, so there's no suspension. There'll be no further repercussions. That's gone. They got to look to game 4, because if the Knicks lose this game, then the pressure is fully on them, because they don't want to be the first team to lose an 0-2, going up 2-0 in the finals on the other team's court. So,
Jeff, didn't the Rockets go down 0-2 back in the day?
Not in the finals. They went down 0-2 against the Phoenix Suns in the playoffs, but it wasn't in the finals. They was down 0-2. Okay. They lost the first 2 at home, and they went to Phoenix. Everybody was calling them Choke City. Then that's how it went from Choke City to Clutch City. That's where it started.
All right. Hey, Phil, what is your comment on the NBA playoffs and the Jalen Brunson incident?
Well, the playoffs are good. I mean, it's, the level of what these guys are being paid to do, they're doing it. And 2 great teams are playing. I mean, hate to say this, but I'll tell you, if New York win, those fans are going to be insufferable. They're that way now. I mean, they attacked some Spur fans outside Madison Square Garden the other night after the game for the jerseys they were wearing. That's crazy. But as far as I'm concerned, they can settle their problems and quit running Brunson off the picks that's concerning with Wembanyama, because they just put Cat on him, because he doesn't seem to be able to get away from Cat. Towns can handle him. But Brunson knows it's a big boy game. I mean, come on. They brutalize Wembanyama all the time. Maybe not obvious as that. He just got caught, but the holding, the pushing, that's part of basketball. Refs, they can dictate the game. That definitely the refs can. So hopefully they'll call it a little looser, and then at times a little tighter. But both teams ought to be prepared for what they're up against. And like Darryl said, if New York don't win tonight, the pressure's squarely on them, I think, because going back to San Antonio, those young dudes don't have nothing to fear but fear itself. And they're not afraid. And you can see that the way they play. So I like what's happening right now. So definitely I'm for the Spurs. I'm pro Texas. So we'll see what happens.
All right. Jeff, what is your comment on the overall NBA? Have you heard any trades or anything or possibilities?
Okay, I'll start with the series, then I get to the trades. The Knicks had a chance. They really had a chance to send this to 3-0, but you got to give the Spurs a lot of credit. They fought with heart. The guards played much better in this game. The first 2 games, the guards were missing too many shots. They were very, very inefficient. They were missing just too many shots. But this past game, Stephon Castle stepped up, and he had a big game. And if they got to at least have one of those 2 guards between Castle and Fox. One of those guys have to have a very efficient game. Okay, they can't be shooting 5 of 23. You can't have those kind of games expect to beat the Knicks. So if their guards can play with efficiency and shoot a pretty good percentage, I think they have a chance to beat the Knicks, to come back from this 2-0 hole that they went into and come back and beat the Knicks. But the Spurs going to go as far as their guards take them, in my opinion. And then, of course, with the Knicks, Bronson, he going to get his. The problem is with Bronson is you got to make him shoot a lot. You got to make sure that his efficiency is low. If his efficiency is low, you got a chance to beat them. Now as far as trades are concerned, this is what I'm hearing as far as the Rockets are concerned. Jaylen Brown to Houston. Houston gives up Fred VanVleet. He has to opt in to that last year of his contract, $25 million. They need his salary. Fred VanVleet, Jabari Smith, plus 3 first-round picks, along with our second-round pick in this year's draft for Jaylen Brown. That's what I'm hearing. Okay? I'm also hearing that Giannis is probably going to go to the Heat, the Miami Heat. That's what I'm hearing. John Morant, I was hearing he's going to the Suns. Now I'm hearing the Suns saying that Memphis is asking for too much, so they're not willing to meet their contract, their deal. So right now they're looking elsewhere. LeBron, I'm hearing it's a possibility LeBron could sign with the Warriors. Warriors have a $16 million cap exception, and they could sign LeBron if he really wants to go play with Stephon Curry. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
All right. I don't like that trading Jabari Smith myself. I would give up Durant rather than Jabari Smith, and I know that they may not like that, but I mean I would give up Durant rather than him, and add some more in if I needed to. Uh, I'd add in more, but I wouldn't give up Jabari Smith because
Okay.
he's going to be a 20 and 10 man. Now, as far as Giannis, you hearing the Heat, I'm still
Yeah.
hearing the Lakers, through, online chatter. I'm hearing
I'll
that.
see it. Okay.
Um, Other than that, I'm hearing Cleveland people talk about LeBron finishing his career there.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. But what
Yeah.
I'm hearing is they don't have enough cap space. Uh, Golden State can offer him a better deal because Golden State have what's called the mid-class exception available to them. Cleveland does not have the mid-class exception available to them. All they can give him is $6 million, but Golden State can give him about 16 million as a mid-class exception. So
Well,
they
I
have an
don't
advantage.
think James Harden is going to re-sign with Cleveland. I don't think he's going to re-sign, so he'll be
I thought he
somewhere
already
else.
resigned. He already
Huh?
resigned a 2-year deal. I thought he already signed. I remember seeing about a week ago he signed a 2-year deal. Didn't somebody see that? Daryl,
I don't
I
think so.
Phil.
hadn't heard that.
Hadn't
I
heard
remember
that
hearing
either.
him. He had saying he had agreed. Now maybe he hasn't signed it yet, but I remember hearing that he had agreed to a 2-year extension.
Well, even if
It's
he
just a matter of when he
signed,
signs.
I could see them trading him if they have the chance to get LeBron back, so
Mm,
and finish his career. So
okay.
it'll be interesting. I just came from Memphis in a trip, and I can see them getting rid of Ja Moran as soon as possible and possibly moving out of Memphis, going to Nashville, just to take away the old stain. But it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen in the NBA. And it's one of the most exciting things out there as the finals and the playoffs have shown. It's a top level sport, right up there with football, I believe. Now, let me switch to the WNBA. I've been watching some games lately. I watched Vegas against Seattle. I watched Minnesota against Dallas, and those are some very interesting games. Them girls are playing at a very high level, and it's moving up to a high level where you got a lot of people wanting to go to the games. The arenas I've seen have been sold out. Golden State, the Valkyries are selling out. Of course, Indiana sells out. I was looking up a Atlanta Dream ticket. They're over $2,200 just for the early tickets. I mean, maybe even the bleacher seats. So they are doing a very good job. Now, I hope that when the Comets come in, they can get some name players like Juju Watkins and maybe Audie Crooks, even though Audie Crooks doesn't have her luster anymore, but maybe she can bring in some fans. We'll see. But also, I want to talk about this: the commentators in these sports. Jeff, what do you think about? You got three different. You got Prime, you got NBC, and ESPN. What do you think about the commentators? Of course, Shaq and the boys just transferred to ESPN, ABC. Now, uh, Prime has they have Dirk Nowitzki, Steve Nash, I think Udonis and Blake Griffin. Uh, NBC has uh, Tracy McGrady,
Yeah,
Vince Carter. Who else, Daryl?
I know you were asking me. It won't come to me right now.
Uh,
Go,
I
Scott.
mean, no.
well, what do you think about those commentators? Who does probably the best job, Jeff?
I still like Shaq and Charles and them. I just think that I'm accustomed to them. I like their personalities, how they mush with one another, how they laugh with one another. They seem to be comfortable with one another. And laughter is important. People don't realize how important laughter is. So I like a commentating crew who can laugh with one another and have fun with one another. I like that. So I like their crew. I also like the CBS crew as well, but I'll still lean toward Charles now. And then as far as Prime, I haven't seen them. I don't even have that channel. I got so many channels. I said I'm not getting that channel, so I don't have it because I haven't seen it.
Okay, well, I think I like the Prime crew with Blake Griffin and them. I think they do a very good job, a thorough job, a very informative job, and very competent job. Now, not as much Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter. Now, their television crew with
Carmelo
Jamal
Anthony is the
Crawford
other guy
and
with them.
Reggie Miller, I
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
but not as
Carmelo
much
Anthony is the other guy with
the
them,
in-house
Jamal.
crew. Go ahead, Phil.
I said Carmelo Anthony is the other guy you were trying to find
Okay,
out who it
yeah,
was.
yeah.
Well, you
What
got
do you
two
think,
different
Phil?
categories. Well, you got two different categories. You got the in-studio guys who are not live at the game, and then you got the guys at the game who are actually announcing. My guys I like is Jamal Crawford and Reggie Miller, and with Mike Breen, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But the in-studio, of course, I mean, the inside the NBA guys are by far the best. I mean, the other guys are on channels that everybody mostly don't have. And now you're only exclusively be on ABC for the rest of the way. So you'll see Kenny, Charles, Shaq, and Ernie. And whoever else they bring in. They've been bringing in Draymond too. So yeah, you can't go wrong. It's a lot of knowledge. It's a lot of informative information. And it's a lot of things, you can pick up, and a lot of things you can find out that they really don't know either sometimes. They just winging it too, even though they're professionals and have got information we don't have, but they're having a lot of fun together. So, but they are the best of the best.
Now, I've been looking at the WNBA commentators also, and of course, they got former WNBA players. Chinen, I forgot her name she's from Houston, though. I think y'all know who I'm talking about.
Beautiful
She does a
lady.
pretty good job.
Beautiful lady.
Shine Abumake.
That's it.
Yeah, she does a good job. And then Candace Parker, who does NBA games also, she does a good job. I believe on NBC, you got Cheryl Miller and a couple of other people. So they are starting to branch out into the commentator area also. And so it's going to be an interesting expansion as all this stuff moves forward. So I look forward to it. Now, the top team of the WNBA right now is the Lynx. Minnesota Lynx are playing ball. And that's your girl, Olivia Miles.
There you go.
Olivia Miles.
Remember, I told you
they just beat my girls with the Dallas Wings, who were 7-3 and top notch. They just made them 7-4 and beat them by 22. So, and that's without Natisha Collier, without her. So it's a very interesting thing. It does look like AJ Wilson is still the top in the league, but the girl for the Dream is doing good too, and her team is doing good. Of course, that is Angel Reese, who's leading the league in doubles and in rebounding. So across the board, they are making a great deal. And a couple of those games y'all should check out. Very interesting. Right now, I'm gonna go to the NFL. Jeff, give us some
information
on OTA.
On the WNBA.
Let me finish. What's up?
I wanted to comment on the WNBA. Go ahead. Okay. All right. What I wanted to say about the WNBA is Asia Wilson has been really hot lately. She has really been on the last week. She has been on a tear. And right now, she's now averaging 26 and 10. So she is really tearing up the league. She's brought her rebounding average up because she's really been tearing up the league. Caitlin Clark has kind of come back to the pack. At one point, she was averaging 24 and 9. That was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Her averaging dropped all the way down to 18 now. So she's kind of come back to the pack a little bit. But right now, Asia Wilson is the girl. She's got it going on. So the Lynx have won 8 straight games. So they're the hottest team in the league right now with 8 straight victories to go to 10-2. But the Liberty won 5 straight. So you got to get a Liberty. New York Liberty, they coming on. The Atlanta Dream, of course, they still got a half a game lead on the Liberty at 8-3, but they coming on. But I'm very impressed with the two expansion teams, Portland Fire, and then the other team, the Portland Fire and the Tempo. Right, exactly. They've done an outstanding job. They have done an outstanding job. But of course, our team, who will be in Houston next year, we still at the rear. We still on the absolute bottom of the league. The bottom of the league. So we're gonna need that first pick in the draft to be Juju Watkins. We really gonna need that first pick. Right now, their biggest competition is Seattle. Seattle is one game ahead of Houston in the pecking order for that first pick. So it should be interesting to see how that work out. But right now, Olivia Myers, Phil, we got to give Phil credit. He brought Olivia Myers to our attention about a month ago. He was absolutely right.
A year ago.
Right now, right? Huh? Yeah,
brought it
yeah.
to your attention a year ago.
Okay, a year ago. Okay, then a year
College
ago.
and recent.
Okay, and so I did give you, I gave you Kato's on the site, man. I said Phil was the one that told us. So she's averaging 18 points a game, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. She is right now the heads-on leader for Rookie of the Year. So I have to give that young lady a lot of credit. She also set the 3-point record for most 3-pointers in a game, hitting 8 3-pointers. So outstanding job for Olivia Myers.
Sounds great. Any other WNBA comments? Well, I want to, as I said, go into the NFL. Jeff, what about the OTAs? And what's have you heard going into the year?
Okay, right now, let's talk about the new contract that was just signed today by Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes just signed an extension to his contract. He now has 8 years on this deal for $505 million. I say it again, $505 million. That means that's $500 million, folks. $500 million. That's $63
Okay,
million.
Jeff, how much is that per year?
That's $63 million per season. $63 million per season. $63 million per season. Baker Mayfield heard this and he's like, okay, fine. Baker Mayfield makes $33.3 million a year right now. He says when his contract ends at the end of the season, he wants 90 to 100 million per season. That's Baker Mayfield. What do y'all say about that? 90 to 100 million per season?
Well, all across the board, everywhere, the salaries are getting crazy, but they should. That ain't the athlete's fault. You know, that's these owners wanting to be competitive and, you know, so forth, and they can't collude. So let's take advantage of it. Now, I'm not going to be paying these tickets, these exorbitant amount to go to a game, unless Daryl give us some free tickets again. But
I know that's right.
I mean, you know, hey, I watch it on TV. You know, they have a bill in Congress talking about the NFL and the prices that they are paying for all the streaming service, and is that fair to the fans? So a lot of this stuff is going to hit the fan in a little bit, I believe, and it's going to start coming back to a little bit more normality, I would say. But it's not so much that they could do about it. You know, it's a free market. Unless you really police the market and put limits on it, it's not that much that they could do. Now, I'm not going to put that past them that they might not do that. Phil, you got anything to say about that?
Well, Carl, when you look at the big picture of how, you know, money is money. Money's going to motivate everybody to do everything they do sports-wise. So, you know, you pretty much covered it all. I just sitting there listening to you, man. It's mind-boggling. You know, there's no way I would pay Baker Mayfield what he's asking for.
Thank you. Not even half of it. I wouldn't even give him half of it.
Well, if he's making 30-something now, he deserves a slight bump. I mean, maybe 40, 45. I mean,
maybe 45. Maybe 45.
Yeah, maybe. I didn't say for sure. But it's just amazing, you know, because television revenue can cover a lot of that anyway, the way the NFL generate money. It's absurd to believe that, you know, they won't take care of retired players with that kind of money. That's kind of something they could go into if they wanted to be, you know, wise and leave a legacy for us what they've done. Because, you know, you hear Eric Dickerson and a lot of guys who retire, so they don't get anything past just gentlemen's retirement money, you know, that the NFL's tip changed for them. So sad commentary on that part.
Yeah, I understand. And I just think these salaries are going crazy and way above human reality. And something got to give one day. But that's across the board. That's in entertainment. That's in business across the board. They might be paying an AI or AI executive 100 million a year, and maybe he just uh, does some coding or something. I don't know, but it's just going crazy. And with all the stuff going on in the United States, you have to ask yourself, what's it going to come to? So, but the NFL, Jeff, what do you say about the Texans? What's going to happen with the Texans? What have you
Well,
heard?
okay, basically what's going on?
let me
What
ask something
basically
about
what's
Baker.
okay? Yeah,
You have
wait.
not because you asked. You have not because you asked not. No one is in a position to tell Baker what he can ask for. He may not deserve it, but if you look at the whole picture, like you guys were saying, nobody deserves it. The owner doesn't deserve to be making all the money that he's making from season ticket sales. The whole thing is out of line. But you
It
can't tell
is.
me how much I think. You can't tell me now. If I say I want 100 million, you feel free to say you're a fool. I'm gonna give you 35. I'm gonna give you 40 because you don't know in my mind if I was saying, "Woo," I would have took 25. So, so I got no problem with him or anybody asking. If they give it to him, then we'll talk about that again on the next show. Why would you give Baker Mayfield even though
I
you
mean, I
have to remind
understand
people
that from the athlete standpoint. I don't blame them. I just blame
he he was
society
a
and
leading
the
candidate
economy that they
for a
built.
long time.
Well, with
He
the
was the leading
market
candidate
bear
for
and what
MVP.
you earn is two different things. But hey, that's up to the owner to decide, the general manager. I mean, because yeah, they got to get all they can get while they can, all they can. But
Well,
sometimes when you
Right.
overpay, you cost the franchise, and
Exactly.
sometimes you underpay, and you lose a good player because you're too cheap. So
And this is
absolutely.
bad timing because now CJ Stroud contract's coming up, and now Houston's gonna feel like they're gonna have to match some of these contracts. That's gonna be $60 and $65 million a season. And Houston can't afford to pay him that kind of money with the money they paying their defensive players. Like Stingler making $30 million a year. You got Hunter making $40 million a year. You got the other boy, the defensive end, Anderson, he making 35, 40 million a year. You're gonna run out of money. There is no way you can pay CJ Stroud $60 million a year. They're gonna have to make a decision. They're gonna have to make a decision. And CJ Stroud could very well get moved sometime this season. And Davis Mills gonna end up being their starting quarterback. We'll
Well,
see.
that is basically the going rate for a top quarterback. So if they want to have a top quarterback, they're going to have to pay something. So something got to give. Silas, welcome. What you say?
Turn your mic on, Silas.
Can't hear you, Silas. We'll come back to you trying to work on your volume and your sound and so forth. But yeah,
Be
I mean,
quiet, Paul.
it's a lot of variables in that, and the market has changed. I mean, you're talking about 53 million a year for Mahomes, and
63.
back in the day, a
63.
Stabler, Passerini, a Doug Williams, they couldn't even think of nothing like that. So look at how stuff has evolved so much, and I mean, it's just incredible. Silas, are you back? All right.
Okay,
Well,
in the meantime, Carl, in the meantime, the Cleveland Browns traded Mike Garrett to the LA Rams. Oh my goodness, the Rams got Miles Garrett. Oh my goodness. I think the Rams defense is better than the Houston Texans defense. They got a heck of a defensive line. Woo. How are you gonna get? I don't know how you're gonna throw passes on them guys.
well, it'll be
Those guys got it
significantly
going
better if
on.
Aaron Donald comes out of retirement.
Oh no.
Now, then it would be no question. Right now, I still say they with
Ooh.
him. But if Aaron
Wow.
Donald comes out, the Super Bowl is in LA, and he wants to play Miles Garrett. They've shown him working out, he could step right in like he never dropped off. It only been 2 years, so.
Oh my goodness, come on this. Anyway, they traded into the Rams for Jared Verse. They gave up a first round pick in 27, a second round pick in 28, and a third round pick in 29. So they gave up the draft capital along with James Verse to get Myles Garrett. But boy, the Rams, whoo, this gonna be tough. I'm
So when
glad they
does
over
football
in the
start,
AFC, in
Jeff?
the NFC. Huh?
When does football start?
The first game is the second week of September. That's the first game of the regular season. The preseason starts up in 2 months.
Okay, sounds good. We look forward to it. One of the favorite times of year. Uh, Guys, should have Serena come out of retirement. Now they say she was super sharp, so it's not like she's a scrub, but she's 40 years old now. What you think, Daryl? Should she have come out of retirement? What that mean?
She's 44. She's 44, not 40.
Okay, 44.
So,
I
but
guess that answers his question.
so I mean, nobody deserves
Oh, Daryl, we're losing Daryl.
championships that she's won. If it deserves a chance, it's Serena. I'm be very interested to see how she plays because her opponent, her number one opponent, will not be Coco. It will not be Sabienka or any of the other names that I can't pronounce. Her number one opponent will be the undefeated opponent of all time, which is Father Time. So she deserves a chance. She deserves a chance like anybody else. We'll see how she does. See if she's capable of holding her own. The last thing we want to see, we hate to see this, we've seen it time and time again. We hate to see our heroes stay too long. So I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm definitely rooting for her. I've always been a fan. I'll always be a fan. I just want her to know when it's time. That she says it's not time again. Who am I to say? She's going out there and
I think she's gonna be very judicious with her play. She's probably not making a full comeback just every now and then.
She's just doing doubles. She's just doing doubles.
They just
She
won.
has,
Didn't they just
she has
win?
an 8-year-old daughter and a 2-year-old daughter, and she wanted them to see her play. And that's what a lot of these guys, like even the guy Ovechkin in hockey, he could have retired. He got a cup, he got everything, MVP. He broke Gretzky's record, but he got young kids. He wanted them to see him play. Some guys box like that. Some guys continue to play basketball like that, baseball, tennis, golf, so that their kids can see them after they've had an illustrious career and achieved great things. So I wouldn't take her too serious until she starts trying to play singles against top-notch qualified players, and she has to earn the right to do that. So she's playing doubles with a 19-year-old girl, and so they had fun. I mean, she seemed to be genuine about it, but Daryl's right. She's not going to be for all the time, that's for sure.
Very true, very true. But I wish her the best, and I just think she's gonna come back just spot times and so forth. But like you said, mentoring the 19-year-old and working with her.
Yeah.
Who was that she was playing with? What's her name?
She's a foreigner. I can't think of her name right now, but she seemed very excited about playing with her. And they did real well together. They won in straight sets. I mean, in the little highlights that they showed, they both were in tandem. So she's been practicing, and she's a naturally gifted athlete. I mean, her dad, when they were little, Serena was the one he always said was going to do what she did. He said, Venus is great, but wait till you see my younger daughter. And he was right. And they were little girls.
Very, very much so. And the other girl she was playing with is a young black girl.
Yeah,
and
she's
that
a foreigner. Yeah, I forget where she's from.
There was a party that Naomi Osaka had, which was an all-black party. And a lot of people had whispers and, comments about that. And, she said she wanted to have something with her people and those people who have meant so much to her. And what do y'all think about that?
It was great. She said she wanted to do it with people that knew her struggle she's been struggling. She's had some mental struggles. She's had some physical struggles. She has a family now. And I don't think she did not invite others. She just said that's who it was for. And she invited all of them. And they showed up and they seemed to have had a good time. And she had no regrets. I mean, they put her through the mill enough out on the circuit for her mixed race. And so, she's in a position to control some of the things she want to do, and they could take it or leave it. That's pretty much how she put it out there.
Very much so. Hey, Silas, are you back with us? Can you hear me, Silas? Well, Jeffrey, you got to comment about Naomi Nosaki and the tennis?
No, I do not. I do not.
Okay, well, it was a good thing. And the one thing I'm going to say is more and more Black people are getting into tennis. It's a slightly expensive sport, but they seeing that they can have success in that area. And so that's a good thing. And a part of, I would say why Serena came back, she wants to be a mentor to young Black girls. And I can see that, and I hope that happens, even though she does have a white husband. But I still think she has a understanding of her possibility of what she can do for young Black people. So that's a good thing. Now, in baseball, we got there's a softball game, Texas Tech and Texas. Phil, can you give us more insight on that?
Yeah, Texas
You
repeated.
said it's a repeat.
Texas repeated as national champions. They have been going to the College World Series previously. There, and Oklahoma was walking away with that championship, and somehow Texas managed the last 2 years to get it, and they beat Texas Tech each time. There's a lot of money involved in college women's sports, and especially the softball. Texas Tech had $1 million pitcher who's gone to the College World Series 4 years in a row, and she never won. 2 years with Stanford, 2 years with Texas Tech. And ironically, the Texas men are in the College World Series too, so they could pull out the double if both of them could win, if the men can win, but that's going to be a tough road. And Texas women came out of the losers bracket to win the tournament. So that's pretty impressive. That don't happen every day. College World Series in either division. So we'll see what happens. The men start this week, and that's a real interest. I watch the College World Series all the time. I love it.
Sounds great. You have any couple of teams in men's baseball, NCAA, who are the top-notch teams? I know Texas is normally up there.
Daryl has something to say, but in the men's, there's been 79 College World Series. Texas Longhorns have been to 39 of them, but they only got like 6 championships.
All right. Daryl, you had something to say?
No, I was just telling Philip that Texas Tech came up through the losers bracket also. Texas, one of them had to beat Alabama twice, the other one had to beat Tennessee twice.
That's right. He's absolutely right. I was only saying that because Texas actually won it, but Texas Tech is a formidable foe. It could have went either way. So that's true.
So both of them came from the losing bracket? They both came out of the losing bracket?
They did.
Wow. I didn't know that.
And as far as our pitcher, Canary, she's a bad girl.
Oh, yeah. She is. She got $1 million. And like I said, she went to the College World Series 4 years in a row and didn't win it. She lost 2 times with Stanford and 2 times with Texas Tech.
All right. Hey, guys, what's going on? Go ahead, Daryl.
No, I was just saying it was very interesting. I don't watch it the way Phil does, but I try to watch sports, especially championships. And so that's when I got into it toward the end, which is why I know the little bit that I do. But it was very entertaining. There's something that I would say, if you're not into it, just take a look.
All right, sounds good. Next thing is about what's going on with other sports out there, like boxing. I just saw Victor Ortiz against Peterson on the circuit, and did anybody see that fight? And who's out there in boxing doing prominent things? Phil, you usually talk about boxing.
Well, the heavyweights are kind of coming back. There's so many out there, but the lighter weights, of course, Still waiting on Tank to get back in the ring, do something. There's a lot of rhetoric going on around who gonna fight who won't fight who. Uh, you know, so I'm just waiting to see. You got Stevenson, who's thinking he's the best in the West, and boxing is in a flux. I mean, you probably can see more women boxing right now. That's probably more stable and going on from what I noticed.
I'm more excited than women boxing.
We'll keep up with it, and always, if you got heavyweights out there or prominent boxers out there, it's an exciting thing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's nothing like human man-to-man, crunch-to-crunch boxing and so forth, and it's always interesting. The Astros, are they picking it up, Jeff? Are they getting better?
They not a little bit, just a little bit, but not enough. They really haven't made up any ground on first place. They still sit 5.5 games out of first place. They have 93 games left, so you got time. But we've been saying that for about a month now. They got 107 games left. They only 5.5 games out. They still sitting 5.5 games out. We said that a month ago. They still sitting 5.5 games out. But they still got a chance for 93 games.
Alvarez is one of the top hitters in home runs and so forth.
Oh yeah, he's going crazy. He's going crazy.
But their division is not that strong, so they're okay.
It is. I agree. The division is not that strong, but they're gonna have to pick it up here soon now.
I mean, the All-Star game is typically your break point when you realize I'm going to get it together or leave it alone, because you can't win it in the first half, but you certainly can win it in the second half of the season. Baseball is a long season. Dodgers September, October. Of August, July and August. That's when you really make hay.
The Dodgers are running away with their division. They just running away with their division.
Have you seen the team in the payroll? They supposed to. Have you seen the team they
got the highest payroll in the world.
They don't have any weaknesses. They got too much. It's not right.
Yep, they run away. They
pay for all of it too. That's how I know money can be manipulated. I don't care what your cap is. I don't care what your rules and regulations, your luxury taxes. If you want certain players and you want to spend the money, it can be manipulated.
Yeah, but baseball's collective bargaining agreement is different than the.
I understand that. It still happens in other sports. It's just a slighter scale, and you move things a little differently. You do revenue sharing. Still can. There's so many ways you can do it. You defer payments. You got guys. Bobby Bonilla still getting paid in baseball, so I know it happens in baseball. You're right. That's proof. But basketball, you got guys got some long-term contracts and still getting paid money that's been out the league a long time too.
Because they set the contracts up that way. They set the contracts up that way.
You hear what I just said?
They deferred it on their own because they wanted to defer it.
But either way, it still has to go through the league board. People know what's going on and they allow it, and sometimes they don't.
Okay.
Sounds good. We're getting toward the end of our show. Silas, are you there? You want to make a comment? He still doesn't hear me, but everything in sports is exciting. Even something like bicycle races or car races, you can see some excitement in that. I watched a little bit of golf the other day, and they were so excited about it. I watched the women PGA circuit, and they were all into it and so forth. Now, I don't get excited about that and so forth, but I can see the excitement that they had. So sports is always an interesting thing when you put the human attributes and emotion into it. It can be exciting across the board. And the world is starting to, now the United States was the leader in sports, but now the world is joining and it's becoming much more exciting. I can't fail to mention the FIBA World Cup is coming to the United States, to Houston, and to the world. It'll be starting soon. The United States is going to be playing Paraguay in the first game that they'll be having. I think that's real soon. So we'll keep up with that and see what's going on and try to report on that. So everything is moving forward, and we'll have our next show at the regular time on the 19th, Jeff. and then after that on July the 3rd. So we'll be back in step and looking forward to talking with and being with everyone and talking sports. Your last word, Jeff.
My last word is relative to the Texans. Just the observations, tidbits, real quick. Lewis Bond, right now, 6th-round pick out of a wide receiver out of Boston College. They say he's looking good. They said that young man should have gone higher than the 6th round. They say he's looking good. If Tank Dell can't get it done and stay healthy, Lewis Bond could be replacing Tank Dell. All right, next, Keelan Rutledge. Rutledge and Caden McDonald, they looking the part. Those guys look like studs. Tight end Martin Klein. Martin Klein was looking good. He was a late 2nd-round pick, but he got hurt. But he looks very athletic. Tank Dell, he's on pace. He's on pace to be ready in time. He's on pace. CJ Stroud, they say he's inconsistent in training. He's inconsistent throughout OTAs. Davis Mills, they say looking better than CJ. Davis Mills is looking better than CJ right now. Okay, just letting you know. And also, the last tidbit is the Houston Texans offense is struggling against that Houston Texans defense. That number one defense, they're struggling. They can't hardly move the ball down the field, so they're having to take some of the Texans star works off the field, so the offense can have a chance to move the ball down the field. They can't move the ball on that defense.
All right. Well, that's the word from the president and so forth, and we look forward to our next show, which again will be on the 19th. And we will invite some very good guests. And we thank you all very much for joining us. We'll see you next time on Sports Take. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Thanks, Daryl. Thanks, Silas.